Now, in the 3 weeks since Harry and Meghan's tell-all interview, Oprah and other Hollywood celebrities have been running the PR machine for the two of them. But Meghan's family have been doing the opposite, because you'll remember in the interview, Meghan had a go at her sister.
I mean, the last time I saw her must have been at least 18, 19 years ago. And before that, 10 years before that. She changed her last name back to Markle I think she was in her early 50s at that time, only when I started dating Harry. So I think that says enough.
Samantha Markle is in Florida. Hi, Samantha.
Hi, how are you?
Look, I'm very well, thank you. But how are you after watching the Oprah interview?
Okay, well, first of all, I'm fine because I call it foot in the mouth syndrome. I deal in the truth. I predicate myself on it, and it hasn't exactly made me popular. But after that interview and hearing my sister say that the last time she saw me was 19 years ago, and only once before that, well, I think there are plenty of pictures in the media showing a lifespan of experiences together. And my degree clearly shows 2008. And anybody who has a calculator or a functioning frontal lobe knows that that was not 19 years ago. So at her age, I would think that she could do math, but really the case is more like deceit than inaccuracy. 19 years is a lot of time, and 2008 was not 19 years ago. So let's start with that. Let's also look at the fact that my last name on my degree says Markle. That was 2008, long before she met Harry. This has been all debunked. I showed the documents on Inside Edition. They went viral. So that was another example of her being in fantasy land. And you hit the nail on the head when you said her PR machine continues to be at work. Her paid PR machine spent quite a bit of time discrediting and libeling both my father and I. There's no gray zone there. So, to talk about Harry working, representing a company that deals in disinformation, he's been a party to it. His wife was paying PR, as Oprah even said, everybody knows, to not just make them look good, but make them look good by offsetting their deceit and making others look bad who speak out about them. Nobody can tell me, and I think the rest of the world now knows, most of the lies in that interview were debunked. And shame on Oprah for enabling it. I think even her buddy Dr. Phil would say, Oprah, what part of lying don't you understand? There was no secret wedding with the Archbishop of Canterbury. That was debunked. And, like Megyn Kelly said, under the law, if one part of something is a lie, it's probable that the rest is a lie. And so that being said, and I would suggest for the benefit of all of them, especially the children, that they get counseling. And Harry is in no position to work for a company that deals in misinformation or mental health issues until he himself is made whole and until they get a grip on what the truth is.
Now, look, I think that you recently said that the marriage of the pair of them wouldn't last. Did you say that?
Well, look at the statistics and probability. A house divided cannot stand. The British royal family have been torn apart. So much damage has been done, so much deceit, so much heartbreak. And I won't say that it's not deliberate. From the outside, it seems deliberate. How can any man be happy in himself knowing that his family has been destroyed and that he sits across from a woman who 99.9% of the time is probably not telling the truth?
So how long do you give it them?
That depends on whether and to what degree they're willing to engage in counseling. But I'm sure there are probably bookmakers out there throwing money at this. But, it's not a joke, and it's not, great. The public can have fun with it all they want, but there are children involved. It's very serious. The way it's going, you want me to answer that question? If this is status quo without any counseling intervention, I give it 6 months.
Yeah, very good point that you make about the kids being involved. Samantha, look, what I'd like to know is, I think this is really hard for a family to go through, going on public television, talking about each other. Do you think you and your dad can ever find it in your hearts to forgive Meghan?
At one point I thought we could, but as I discovered more about the paid PR behind destroying the family, my father having 2 heart attacks, and just everything that's been out there that we have discovered in this process, that's like somebody, if your neighbor put all over the media that you were a horrible, disgusting prostitute and you did drugs and you killed animals and you abused people, and it's not true, and you've put out the documents to prove it, but you know this person did that, do you forgive this person who has assassinated your character? Honestly, I don't think that's realistic, especially when you're dealing with a narcissist who is not capable of empathy, remorse, or shame.
And what about your dad? Do you think he'd like to see her? I mean, would he forgive her?
You know, I would hope for his sake that he has some kind of closure before he dies. I can't say what that will be. And if she did apologize, it probably wouldn't be sincere, but it would be great if she could at least give him that, even if it wasn't sincere, just so that he gets some, you know, feeling of love. And even if it's not real, you know, and at his age, I would just like him to feel a moment of happiness and reciprocation.
All right, Samantha, thank you very much. Samantha Markle, half-sister of Meghan Markle.